If Sydney would have died, I don't think I would have. I think I would have died with her. Like, that would have killed me.
Celeste Corcoran's daughter, Sydney, collapsed to the sidewalk of Boylston Street after being struck by a piece of shrapnel from the first bomb near the finish line of the Boston Marathon. She was there with her parents to cheer on her aunt, who was about to finish. I photographed her as she was being comforted by onlookers. Two men took T-shirts and tied them around her legs and used pressure to stop the bleeding. A piece of shrapnel the size of a cell phone severed her femoral artery.
Sydney literally was feet away from us and we couldn't see her because she was like behind us. I'm so glad that I was standing to the right of her. So I'm so glad that it was me. And in some way, my body shielded her.
Sydney wrote about her experience for her senior essay at Lowell High School.
It's amazing how everything can change from ecstatic and jubilant to horrifying and gruesome in the matter of mere seconds. The first bomb goes off and everyone is immersed in smoke. Every one of my senses is in use and working in overdrive. I can smell smoke and blood. I can taste the smoke going down my throat and into my lungs.
I remember standing right at the finish line and hearing the first bomb go off about 45 feet away from me. As the smoke cleared, I saw people on the ground, some with their limbs blown off and just pools of blood. And that's when I first saw Celeste lying on the sidewalk being helped by her husband, Kevin, as he took his belt off and put it around her leg to stop the bleeding. She was carried over the finish line in a stretcher, and unfortunately she lost both her legs in the bombing.
A part of me wasn't even thinking like what happened to my mother, and then once it really started to dawn on me, then I really started to worry and wonder, like, where are my parents? Like, I don't see them around, I don't hear them. I thought they were gone.
I met Sydney and Celeste 2 weeks after the bombing at Spalding Rehab Hospital in Boston, and I gave them a hug and apologized to them for having to photograph them the way that I did while they lay on the sidewalk after the bombing. And I made a commitment with them that I would like to photograph them and document their recovery for the rest of the year, which they allowed me to do. Sydney recuperated enough to be able to go home from Spalding. She said her emotional goodbyes to her mom, who she had spent the last 3 weeks with. There were tears and there were hugs, and even a jubilant wave by Sydney as she pulled away in her brother Tyler's cars, throwing her arms up through the moonroof. For Celeste, the biggest challenge was before her, to be able to walk again.
Failure can't be an option. You know, I need to be active like I was. Going about your daily business, driving a car, you know, doing whatever I needed to do. If that end goal is me working hard and struggling and doing all this right now, then that's what I have to do. And there's just no question.
It was Celeste's turn to finally go home. She was wheeled up the new ramp to the house by her son Tyler, and similar to Sydney, she threw her arms up in the air. A victory for her. A month had passed since the bombing, and Celeste made a trip to the place she loves to work, the Emerge Hair Salon on Newbury Street, only a street away from the Boston Marathon finish line.
Right? It touches me that you've come.
Yeah, all the girls here, we all feel the same way.
Thank you. Thank you. I gotta hug you up.
When they left, Kevin and Celeste made their way down Newbury Street and crossed Boylston Street. In a brief moment, Celeste looked back towards the area of the bombing several blocks away, and then smiled as they moved on.
I wanted to see her walk. It was so hard to see her. I'm start crying. It was so hard to see her just day after day just sit in her chair and just cry. It just takes a toll on you. Because you just wish that there was something that you could do to just take it away. But no matter like what you say, she's just gonna cry. And at some point she'll stop.
A lengthy process began as Celeste's legs finally healed enough to be fitted for prosthetics. After meticulous measurements and castings, her first set of legs would be ready in 3 weeks.
Everybody said it's going to be hard. Don't get be excited, but sort of don't get too excited, and putting them on, and you stand up in them, and it feels so unnatural. It feels like you're on stilts, you know? How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Awesome.
Thank you. You're using like every muscle in your body to try and just stay upright, like, to try and walk on these stilts, and it's exhausting.
Okay, now, no hands on the walker. Both hands up. Okay? I'm serious. You don't have to like have them out here, but off the walker. You got it. Come on. I was going down. My knee's going. You're not.
Like, there's always a doubt of, well, will I be the one that won't be able to walk in these like everybody else does? But, am I going to be the one that, that's not going to happen to or something? Like, I want to do good walking. When they go, oh my God, good, you got it. I'm like, yes, like that.
Yeah.
Just encourages you and just wants you to do it again.
Oh boy. Don't laugh.
And hey, woo! That one was for my mother. It's so hard. I want to be just doing, I just want to be me. I want these legs to feel a part of me.
Celeste knew her first set of prosthetics were not going to work out. She flew to Florida with her family in late July and got fitted with a new set of high-tech legs. These have a computerized knee for her right leg and are not as clunky as her first set.
I knew that it was better right from the get-go. So there was also that hope, because it was better. You can't go backwards. You can't change. And unfortunately, life does throw a lot of curveballs at you that you never, ever can imagine.
I mean, it's still pretty hard at times, but I feel like we're moving on, and that makes me happy. But when I do look back, there's still some of that lingering feeling of, like, why did it happen?
When I do something by myself like that, when I do something that I thought I wouldn't be able to do, like climb up that step by myself, climb up that rock wall, what I really want to say is, you terrorists. You got me, but you didn't get me, They took a lot away, but I can get a lot back. And every achievement feels like I'm getting justice. And hopefully this will be better for you guys.
5 months after the marathon bombings, Celeste asked me if she could look at the photographs I took of her on the sidewalk of Boylston Street. She wanted to see her legs.
So they have something over my leg. This is my right leg, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So look, it's like separated. Is my shoe still on?
I think it's tendons. You know what I mean? She's not just my mom, she's one of my best friends. We've always been really, really close, but especially after such a horrific event, we just got so much closer. She's my mother, so she's always taken care of me, but now I like to think I always took care of her too, but now even more so. I have to help her through the rest of her life.